There are so many apps and games available to us right in the palms of our hands than ever before. But for every Angry Birds, which is the last game I played on my phone, swear to God, it was like 14 years ago. Anyway, for every family-friendly game, there are just as many not so friendly games out there. I'm your host, James, and these are the top 10 paranormal iPhone games you were warned not to play. And we're kicking off this list with Ghostcom Radar Spirit Detector. So this app supposedly allows you to speak with spirits from the beyond, almost like a spirit box, but with text. Here's the description of how the app works. At its heart, Ghostcom Radar is based on very simple technology. When it starts, it generates a large string of random numbers. Our internal algorithms translate this string into all the words and stats that are displayed on the screen, including the location data. The basic premise is to test whether random algorithms may or may not be influenced by forces beyond our current understanding. So basically, the app detects spirits and then generates a series of words that are supposedly coming from said entity. Now, there are some pretty intriguing reviews of this app. Some of them write that they received messages from loved ones who have passed away saying that the words generated wouldn't have come from anywhere else and that they're just too personal. So if that stuff is true, it's pretty interesting. Number 9, the Spirit Board. This one is pretty self-explanatory. It's the app version of a physical Ouija board. Ouija boards are pretty notorious. My own mother even warned me not to mess around with them, which I have ignored on multiple occasions, including in-app form. I just like fooling around with stuff like this. Bringing on ghosts, you know, that's what I say. What are they gonna do? Punch you with their translucent fist that'll just like pass right through your body? Lots more terrifying threats out on the street than a ghost, in my opinion. But then again, I've never actually seen one, so if I did, maybe I'd change my tune. There are a number of stories, though, about people releasing unwanted spirits into their life after contacting the beyond through the use of a Ouija board. So if the app is anything like the physical thing, this may be something you want to steer clear of if you have a belief in the spirit world or are susceptible to ghostly encounters. Next up, we have GhostTube SLS. SLS stands for Structured Light Simulator. Here's the app description. GhostTube SLS camera alternate detects humanoid bodies in your environment similar to the Kinect SLS cameras used by real paranormal investigators. GhostTube SLS uses your phone's camera to identify human figures, human-like and bodies. So you pull out your phone and then you walk around and these green lines will appear on your screen forming the shape of any supposed body that it detects. You can also record on this app and then review your footage later. And there's a bunch of different filters, including a thermal and negative filter. If you're interested in doing some ghost hunting, this could be a good app to have on hand. It'd be cool to use it in a graveyard. Imagine like just taking it out and seeing hundreds of green stick figures lingering around the graves. I think I gotta try this. I'll get back to you with my results. When Will I Die is an app that supposedly tells you exactly that. Here's the description. When will you die? Are you ready to learn the date of your death? Answer various questions about your lifestyle and habits, and we'll give you our estimation of when you'll die based on our unique algorithm. There are a total of 10 different quizzes to try out. So this one isn't really claiming to be some mystical premonition of your death, to be honest. It's actually predicting it based on statistics related to lifestyle choices, which can either be very relieving or very unsettling, depending who you are. I tried this app out and I got 88 as my age of death, which is pretty good. I guess you could use this kind of like a guide, like to see how your lifestyle is affecting your health and impending mortality. Overall, pretty morbid though, so if you prefer to just not think about stuff like this, then you may want to stay away from it altogether. Number 6, Charlie Charlie Challenge. So much like the Ouija board app, this is an app version of a physical game. The Charlie Charlie Challenge is set up by placing 2 pencils in a cross position on top of a sheet of paper, and then the words yes or no are written on each side of the paper in like every corner where the pencils kind of form little squares. Then you just basically play it by asking a spirit, supposedly named Charlie, questions. Yes or no questions. The top pencil will ideally pivot, pointing to either yes or no. Just like with the Ouija board though, some fear that playing this could invite certain unwanted guests into your orbit, so proceed with caution. Number 5, Ghost Radar. So this is another ghost hunting tool. Here's the app description though. Ghost Radar is the original application designed to detect paranormal activity. Ghost Radar attempts to detect paranormal activity by making various readings on the device. Traditional paranormal equipment can easily be fooled when simple mundane bursts of normal energy occur. Ghost Radar sets itself apart by analyzing the readings and giving indications only when interesting patterns in the readings have been made. So I've watched a couple videos on this thing. When you see green dots appear on radar, that supposedly indicates a spirit that is more benevolent, and then the red dots indicate a more harmful type of spirit. So give it a try yourself if you got the cojones. Next on the list we have the Sono X10 Spirit Box. Another device in every ghost hunter's arsenal, now in the form of an easy to download app on your phone. Sono X10. Sono X10 is a spirit box that uses a voice bank. The standard voice bank is created by small bits of the American English alphabet and small cuts of speeches, no full sentences or words. When one of the mobile sensors is triggered, it creates a timestamp in the voice bank, which will then be heard if a sensor is triggered again. If the mobile receives more triggers, it can then put together small bits of audio from the sound bank to create full words or sentences. We believe that the paranormal is able to trigger some of the sensors in a mobile phone to make contact with us. It's not the spirit's voice you hear, but the spirit can create words from the voice bank by manipulating the mobile's sensors. I've always kind of wanted to try one of these things out, see if I can get something back that isn't just a garbled mess. Next up we have Spectre Ghost Detector game. Now this app makes no claims that the ghosts you see while playing this are real. It's just a fun, spooky game. At least it looks very fun. Honestly, I really like the look of this. I'm probably gonna download it and give it a try as soon as I get home. This is almost like Pokemon Go, but for ghosts. And you can't catch the ghosts, unfortunately, but you do use your phone's camera to detect ghosts, and they'll actually show up on your screen as these misty, ghostly figures. There are also creepy sounds in the app too, so this could be fun to play with headphones. I realize this video is supposed to be games I'm warning you not to play, and I'm totally kind of recommending this, but I don't know. This just looks like a fun evening to me. I can't help it. Don't play it if you scare easily, I guess. Number 2, RIP VIP. Now this one isn't paranormal, but it is very morbid. This is an app that sends you updates every time a famous or otherwise notable person kicks the bucket. So using the app, you'll get to find out which of your favorite musicians, politicians, or celebs have died before any of your friends. Lucky you. I think the name of the app is what really throws me. RIP VIP, like VIP access to what is essentially an online obituary. I decided to pay the 99 cents and actually try this app out, show you guys what it looks like. I don't know if it's even up here on screen, but you get a whole list there of people who have died recently. It's unsettling to see just how many updates you get on a pretty regular basis. They're not just from today. You can go back as far as you want. Just a reminder that people die a lot. Imagine if the app gave you updates on everyone though. Your phone would probably explode for the amount of notifications. Finally, at our number 1 spot, we have the Countdown app. This one is similar to When I Will Die, only this one doesn't ask you any questions. It just tells you straight up, down to the very day you're supposedly going to die. If you're a superstitious person and you take things like psychic readings very seriously, this is probably an app that's gonna freak you out. And even if you aren't superstitious, I don't care what you say. No matter what it tells you, you know, at first, yeah, sure, you're gonna laugh and you're gonna go about your day. But I just feel like there's always gonna be this nagging thought in the back of your mind, just wondering, what if it is right though? What if I really do have 9 years, 6 days, and 2 hours left to live? At least that's like how I feel my brain would react, so it's not something I'm gonna bother with. If you're curious though, give it a download, post what you got in the comments. With all that said, I've been your host James, and I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.